Really, really excited about what that football team did on the field today. Before I get started, I'd like to take my hat off to Coach Brom and the Boilermakers. Fantastic football team. I expect that team to be a bowl team for sure by the time the season's over. It's a good time to be orange. Soccer team knocked off the #1 Clemson 2-1. It's always a good day. And then I don't know what time is it, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Undefeated. Marshall has probably opened early, and the pizza's going to be hot. So we're excited, and I want to get these guys out of here so they can enjoy it and so we can get ready to go on Virginia. So questions?
Questions for Coach? We'll start right here with the 2 TVs in back. You want to see Jesse raising his hand, and Alex as well. Either one of you two, and then the next one right after that.
How hard was it for the offense to stay patient when Purdue was doing everything in its power to limit Tucker?
You know, I just thought that we have to be patient, and you know, Tucker has to be patient. It's frustrating not to see him do what he's done because we're very capable of what he can do. But they had a good game plan. They were giving us certain things. And if you really go back and watch the tape, which I'm going to do 3 or 4 times, it seems every time that we acted like we were going to give him the ball and did something else, that good things happened to us. So he affects the game in more ways than just by rushing yards and passing yards. He's somebody that you need to have an eye out for on every single play.
Dino, Ronde, 2 touchdown receptions. Was there a mismatch that you guys saw on their defense, or was he just having really the game of his life out there today?
It's more latter, just having a really good game. I wouldn't consider it that, but Ronde is very, very skilled. His dad was an NFL guy, and he walked in here with a lot of skills. Coach Johnson has added a lot to those skills, and when you're in the offense with Coach and I, and with Garrett doing the things that he's been doing, throwing the football, that it's going to be electric. You know, that 4th and 1 was interesting. And once again, if I'm not, I might be mistaken, but I thought we faked the ball to Tucker. And I knew it was a fake, and then I'm like, did they just give him the ball? That Tucker was doing such a fantastic job acting like he had the ball. And then I want to say that was a 3rd read by Garrett, but I could be wrong. But I think it was his 3rd read going back to Ronde. And then Ronde did some Michael Jackson type moves, getting that thing in the end zone down by the sideline, which was exciting to see.
We're going to go Steven and then Dan.
I think even dating back to last year, you've seen teams dare to beat you guys with man coverage. What did you see in the second half that I guess allowed you to overcome that? And was it just on the field, or did Anai do something as well to help?
No, I think it's a little bit of both. I don't want to take away from anybody. I think that we have to still make some of those plays. Some of the things we were doing in the first half wasn't exactly right, wasn't exactly technique right, where guys were getting a little bit too excited. They're just, you know, forgetting some of the things that they've been taught, and they need to go back and do the things. You know, coaching matters. Go back to what the coach is saying and stop doing that stuff you did in junior high school and stuff, and let this stuff work. So they regrouped at halftime. They were extremely determined, extremely focused at halftime. Halftime was real NFL-ish. Guys knew what they had done wrong, and they were excited to get back out there and show everybody that they could do it right.
Coach, just to speak to the grit of this team, especially in the second half, that every time there was any positive play by Purdue, you always had an answer for that, and obviously in those last few seconds of the game, we're able to close it out.
Well, I would like to say we're lucky, but I think that you make your own luck, and these guys have really prepared. They've really changed what they do at night, and they may not have changed what they're going to do tonight, but they've really changed what they've normally done at night, and they're really focused about giving their best performance on game day. And so far, so good. Their best performance has been good. Not perfect, even though the record is perfect. The performance hasn't been perfect, but it's been more than good enough for the record to be perfect.
Caleb Okechukwu had a pick six there late in the game. How do you feel like kind of that play and just the pressure that your defense was able to get on O'Connell there kind of represented the changes you made for the second half?
I feel bad because I almost said it at halftime that we were going to score on defense. There was a feeling, I'm not saying this either, there was a feeling I was like, we're going to score on defense. And I wanted to tell the defense that, and I said, I don't want to jinx them. So I did not say it, but the way they were playing, I'm just like, first of all, their offense is good, but we were right on the edge. We're rolling the dice. We're playing with them and taking chances. And I just said, sooner or later, something had to give. There was just so much pressure on that dam that sooner or later it had to spring a leak. I didn't think it was going to be the quarterback. I thought it was going to be a tip ball or a batted ball or something to that effect. But for that quarterback did something I've never seen him do before. I've never seen him have a play like that on tape. If you see it, find it, because I've watched a lot of tape. I've never seen him do that before, and he's a fantastic player, and I do think he'll be an NFL player. I'm not talking bad about him. We're just fortunate that if he was going to have one play like that in his career, that was against us.
Going back to Tom here. Blue shirt right there.
Coach, where would you say this experience ranks for you in terms of moments at the Dome?
Well, this ranks extremely high. This is a spiritual type feeling right here. I mean, to win a game like that, to have the scoreboard go back and forth from the third quarter to the fourth quarter, the highs and lows. You're talking, there's a roller coaster that they say is the fastest roller coaster in the world. Colossus is in Santa Rita, California, Magic Mountain in the West Coast. And I've only ridden 2 roller coasters in my life because I don't like roller coasters, but I don't like to have people you have to overcome your fear. Fear is the mind killer. So if I was going to ride a roller coaster, I wanted to ride the fastest one ever. And that third and fourth quarter was like that roller coaster ride, Colossus. There was turns, there were deep valleys, and there were big climbs. And there was a lot of speed going along, and your hair was going back like that. Your eyes were all big, and you're like, wow, is this thing going to end? Because I'm really not having a lot of fun right now. But luckily, it finally came to an end, and everything was intact, and Syracuse is 3-0.
We're going to stay on that side of the room and hit Connor. Connor right there. No, thank you.
Thank you. So 1 minute left. You guys got the ball, need a touchdown. What's kind of the message to the offense and just the team in such an emotional setting at that point?
Oh, golly, what a fantastic drive. First of all, let me say this. We have, at the time, I may be wrong, you guys can correct me, you guys always do. I want to say we had 3 timeouts, and we're not using our timeouts. And someone may be saying, why aren't you using your timeouts? We're so efficient, we didn't need the timeouts. And as a coach, you've got to understand something. You're really playing both sides of the fence. So here we are moving the ball, the clock stops. We can call a play, get the play in before the clock starts again. We don't need to call a timeout. You're wasting your timeouts. If you got your timeouts, why don't you use them? Well, if you call a timeout, you're giving the defense an opportunity to reset and change personnel. We don't want them to reset, and we don't want them to change personnel. We want them to play with the exact same guys out there getting tired that our guys are out there getting tired. Now, if there was something was going to happen in bounds or the clock was running, then we'd use those timeouts. We're not knuckleheads, but the way we were moving and the way we were functioning, we didn't need to do that. And then you turn around, and by saving those timeouts, now you've got those guys using their last. Well, we had the situation on the PAT field goal where, we could call a timeout. And then we had the next situation where they came out in their last play formation, and we could call a timeout based off that formation, give the kids the information that we have about that formation. Not a crystal ball, but this is what we've seen them run from this in this situation, and then send them back out there with that fresh in their mind. All these things are being tied in because we didn't have to use those timeouts on the offensive side of the ball. So once again, even though I heard someone say today it's football, it's not rocket science, it's football. It's not checkers. Football is chess. Okay? If you like checkers, play checkers. Okay? If you want to play football, you need to play the game of chess.
We're in front of Josh. Back row right here.
Coach, with some of the offensive struggles that y'all had in the first half, do you think that was a product of something within y'all system or something that Purdue did defensively or in their game plan to really slow y'all down?
I think it was just two teams really wanting to win. And the thing you guys got to understand is when our quarterback gets hit more, and I'm not talking about from drop pass rushes. I'm talking about he actually runs the football, so sometimes he gets hit. He needs a little time to catch his breath. But I just thought it was two defenses that were playing outstanding football, two offenses that were really calculating on when they could get their opportunities to take a shot. And then if you watch the game, even though everybody's shot didn't happen, there were shots taken. I mean, we were going for it, they were going for it. Sometimes it happened, sometimes it didn't. I thought there was 2 or 3 deep balls with Deuce and Jihad, and I mean, where those balls were like, is it PI, is it not PI? I mean, I just thought it was a great game. Now, somebody's got to tell me what happened with all those penalties on the sideline at the end, because it looked like the same thing as last year where I got in trouble for saying dang it, and no one ever came over and said anything to me, but it worked out in our favor, but I really didn't see it because I was focused on what was going to happen next, supposedly, on the football field.
Coach, how proud are you of Garrett Schrader coming out in that second half after struggling in the first half and acting like a consummate pro? And then on the other side, how proud are you of Ronde Gadsden for a youngster like that? And he just looked like a pro from start to finish.
I'll start with Ronde. Ronde has always had the ability to catch the ball. If you're breaking him down and you say he cannot catch the ball, you're Stevie Wonder. There's something wrong with you. The guy can catch the ball. Okay, now you can cover him, good luck, but if he gets close to his hands, he's going to catch it. The thing that excites me about Ronde is how he was able to get his feet down in so many of those catches. And if you watch, even from the first game, he's close to the sideline. He finds a way to get his feet in, where some people find how to barely not get their feet in. And anytime Ronde goes to film review, I know we're good to go because I know he's going to find a way to get it done. I thought Schrader, that's what guys do. That's what leaders do. They battle, okay? And if you're an A student, you don't get an A all the time. You get an A most of the time. And his first 2 games, I thought, were averaged out to an A for sure. And if this game averages out to a B, so be it. But when you have someone that's like a pitcher who's not bringing their best stuff, but they still find a way to get people out. They still find a way to clear the bases and not allow you to score runs. Or in football, he finds a way to get his team in the end zone. That's called leadership, and I'll follow that all day long.
Last two for Coach, we'll go to Nisha and Steve to wrap us up.
Coach, the secondary struggled a little bit today just from splash plays with Charlie Jones and some of the receivers on Purdue. What's the message to them to improve on some of those one-on-one matchups going forward?
The secondary did not struggle today. We gave up a lot of passing yards to a really, really good wide receiver who's a transfer from Iowa, who's not only did good things against us, he's probably going to be a first or second team All-American if he doesn't get hurt, and I hope he doesn't, because it just goes to show what kids can do when they really get hooked up with a quarterback that they believe in and they go out and work countless hours in the summer. That kid is good, okay? You can say whatever you want. That kid is really, really good. And I think what we saw was the first of many battles of our corners versus really good wideouts, okay? And some people are going to get help. Our safeties, we can give them help. Our linebackers, we can give them help. Our D-line, we can give them help. You will get no help playing corner at Syracuse University. If you really want to be on an island where people drop off food and you're all by yourself, okay, come play corner here because there's no one to help you. And sometimes they're going to win, they're gunslingers, and sometimes they're going to lose. But our corners, they normally win more than they lose, and that's what we need them to do if we're going to be successful on defense.
Last question for Coach, we'll go to Steven in front.
Hey, Dino, I know it's probably all still a bit of a flash, but is there a moment or an image or a conversation you're going to remember from that game-winning play and kind of the aftermath?
God, that's a good question. I don't have anything for you. God, you came up with a great question. No. I think I pulled my groin trying to keep my team inside the box. and I'm probably going to have to go to the training room this week. And then they're going to have to answer for that. I'm not going to be pulling my growing all year. That's not going to happen. So Grandpa's going to have to talk to the stepsons, and we're going to have to see. We're going to have a kumbaya meeting on those celebrations, because I can't keep doing that. And then there's a whole bunch of other people that are supposed to be helping me, and I'm going to be nice like Roadhouse until it's time not to be nice. But I didn't see all those helpers out there. I just saw myself out there, and the kids are excited. And God dang it, they're young. God, all that youth wasted on the young. But I get it. But they can't be coming out the box like that, and we can't be getting penalties on the next play. They got to learn how to be mature about that and control all that enthusiasm that they have.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Tyler.